SoFloRadio.com and SoFloTelevision.com.
Since the dawn of civilization, the elusive quest in pursuit of the perfect drink continues to evolve. Now more than ever, we reap the rewards of this passion. The perfect vintage, the finest brew, or a spirit of optimum age in class. And now, SoFloRadio.com invites you to discover the wonderful world of booze. By the glass.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to By the Glass. I'm your host, Brett Hubbard, and I'm welcoming you to explore the wonderful world of wine, beer, spirits, and everything in between. And my guest host, Jason, cannot be here tonight, but I am definitely joined by...
his loss.
I've been bad. He's
not
been
like
really
I've been
bad.
very
You should have
good.
seen him just before the show
Very
started.
good. I know I behaved because Paige is here.
Yeah, that's right. We're very, 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 very happy to have Miss Paige Nast on the show. She's
Hello.
the beverage director, a mixologist at Tap 42, and she's been on the show before. And welcome back, Paige. Come on, everybody. Just a big round of applause. You might say to
Thank
yourself,
you.
why is Paige standing up? Because she's like a lot of live action, right? She's going to be making
she's
us all kinds
very
of drinks.
dynamic.
Because tonight's show is about Partita Tequila. And it's a phenomenal tequila. Actually, some of these people that we've been reading reviews on have said that it's one of the best tequilas in the world. One guy said it's even one of the top 5 spirits in the world. So we're in for a real treat tonight. We definitely have the Blanco Añejo and the Reposado, which means rested in Spanish, right? That was
there
all
you
the
go.
tequila shows that we've been doing. We're going to talk a little bit
I
about
thought it meant
tequila.
repossessed. I thought it was
George has been repossessed in
Yeah.
Spanish and other languages. So, but fantastic. So what we are going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about the basics of tequila. We're going to talk to Paige about her, just total experience and how she loves to mix with all different types of spirits, but possibly why tequila might be a fun one and some of the experiences she's had with tequila in general. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So tell me about your experience with tequila. Do you love it as far as like making different drinks? Is it versatile?
I actually really love tequila, especially because most people think of it as something that you just kind of shoot.
Right.
Um,
Like George. I mean, shoot.
yeah. Okay. Oh, okay.
But I mean, a lot of people's first experiences with it are, in high school, college, and it's just something they get drunk off of.
But what I always hate when people say, "Yeah, I tried tequila once and I threw up on it and I never drank it again."
No, I
It's
don't
like,
believe that.
What a shame.
And it's
Tequila doesn't do that. That's something else they had.
Seriously,
I don't believe that.
It's like, oh, it's always the tequila's fault when really like
No,
No.
It was those 5 other things before it. It was that fuzzy navel. Yeah.
definitely the fuzzy navel. But anyways, I really like it because the different tequilas are so different from one another. The way that they age them, the different barrels they use, different methods down in Mexico. There's a lot of history behind it. And, it's very versatile. The better ones, like the Partita Añejo, are almost like a cognac or a nice scotch or whiskey. So they're very, some of them can be really rich. Some of them can be nice and earthy, mellow. So there's kind of like a wide range of what you can do with it.
And I'm sure that you can make a lot of different drinks, a wide range of drinks and all kinds of different creations out of it that can really bring out the nuances, the essences of the drinks that you are creating. Now, I know that in some of our past episodes, if you guys go back on By the Glass Show, welcome to By the Glass Show. We are a show about beverage culture. Come to you every Thursday at 6 on SoFlo Radio and ByTheGlassShow.com. And we've had Paige on a couple times, and if you go back to some of her other episodes that she's been on, you can find them right on the archive page. You can see that she's made some amazing things. She makes her own simple syrups. She uses all fresh different herbs and things that she finds locally grown. So she really goes to the next level to create the ultimate mixology concept.
Try to keep it fun.
Yeah, keep it fun too. I mean, that's definitely what it's all about. So
Oh my God, she's dipping glasses into things.
beautiful. I mean, we're going the extra mile. This is great to have you on. So when we talk a little bit about what tequila is, and if some of you that don't really know what tequila is, it's funny. There's a couple of different spirits they're different in the way that they ferment themselves somewhat, and rum is one of them, and tequila is the other. To where basically what they do is they find the actual plant, which is a big spiky plant called the agave, and then these special guys called the humidors, and they'll go and they'll cut it down in a special way to where they can cut all the spines off, and that just really reveals the inner part, the heart of it, which is called the piña. It's a really soft and a sweet center that's once it's cut down, and I believe the plants grow for about 7 years, then it's baked, pressed, and then it's pressed like fermented in a way to where it's basically what was the word, macerated on its own way like they do with grapes. And then what they do with that is they ferment it and let it sit once it's all been cut up, and they distill it in these big wooden barrels, or actually open tubs. And then from there, they boil it, distill it again, and that's kind of the tequila we know today. So not necessarily the same thing as making a scotch where you got to make a beer first out of it, ferment it, then it kind of ferments on its own like a molasses rum. So definitely a unique. Now I've been down to Puerto Vallarta a couple times, and that's right on the Jalisco in the state of tequila, and it's beautiful. If you go and you watch these guys, they'll actually put this tool in your hand to actually
It's a koa.
koa,
yeah.
to cut this thing up, and it's almost impossible, but they do it like in seconds. They can strip this thing in like a few seconds of all its real intricate spines, and it's unbelievable. So talk to us a little bit about this drink you're making here, Paige.
Okay, so this first one we're making is my take on a margarita. Here we go. This drink is.
It looks really good.
Even has a head.
This drink is actually, it's been a staple of our menu since I unveiled our new cocktail list back last year. It's called the Tequila, appropriately named.
Hey.
Basically what it is, it's the Blanco tequila. Then what I did is I took agave, boiled it down with ginger, star anise, cinnamon, vanilla beans, and some other spices. And so we call it like our spiced agave. We use it in a couple different drinks.
Easy. You can mix this at home. Just
It's actually not that bad. And then it's just a little bit of lime juice and a splash of orange juice. All fresh, obviously. We don't use versus lime or any of
Is
that.
this salt and sugar?
It's salt, sugar, and cinnamon. And so that kind of pulls out the flavors from not only the tequila.
You're the devil.
But it's delicious.
Yeah, but what I love about it is the froth. Here, definitely partake. No, you're not drinking, are you? No.
Oh my
It
god.
looks like a beer.
It does. The
It
froth
kind of
on
does,
it.
you're right. Yeah.
What I love about it
Tastes
is
a
it's
little
kinda
better than that.
sweet and spicy and salty all in one. It's kind of got every single nuance that you could ever. Folks, do you see this at home? This is beautiful.
Yeah.
The
This is
presentation
very
is
good.
really everything.
This is very exciting in my mouth.
Oh my God, that really is amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. So if someone who never would really give tequila a shot,
This is good.
Is that a pun?
this is something you definitely want to try.
And the rim is exceptional.
Thank you.
Uh-oh, you're setting George up for that one.
I'm just going to let that one go. I'm going to be a gentleman today.
Oh, boy.
I was
Okay,
waiting
come
for
on.
it.
So, here's the thing. A lot of people might not realize that the quality tequila is very important. So if you made this same drink with an inferior tequila, it probably wouldn't turn out the same, would it?
No, basically what happens is depending on how earthy it is or, the nuances within it will definitely change the flavor and kind of mingle a little bit differently
Yeah.
with the flavors from the agave, especially because it's got so many things going on already. So,
This is interesting when they talk about the Partida tequila. Most agave is cooked the old-fashioned way in stone ovens that are rarely cleaned. So if you look at on YouTube, it's kind of fun. It's kind of what you would expect. Some of these tequila factories, they have these old rickety machines and everything's kind of old and broken down. And this is kind of how they're producing their tequila in dirty old nasty ovens with this old conveyor belt, and everything's just disgusting.
Sounds yummy.
Without any really
Seasoned.
quality control or any of that type of seasoned. But and there's a big soot, and
It
that
adds
gives
life to it.
Well, it gives a bitterness to the tequila, they say, and that's what they really don't want to do with Partida. They only use state-of-the-art stainless steel ovens to bake their agave. It creates smooth, clean taste, and then they clean the ovens every time after every use, and it's amazing. Then they fill by hand some of these bottles when they do the Blanco, the ones that aren't aged. They actually fill those by hand to create that one. But then some of the other ones, the Reposado, which is aged 50% more than required, they actually age them in Jack Daniel's American Oak barrels that have only been used once. So that oak smokiness is really what you taste there. You don't taste the smokiness from the nasty oven.
right.
So, and it's a fantastic way to go about things to actually, to add quality control. Because if you look at a lot of spirits from around the world, they're using all kinds of quality control measures. Whereas maybe not in Mexico, they're not necessarily using those throughout. And I don't know, you've been to Mexico. There's just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tequilas. A lot of them are interesting because they're small, hand batched, and they're made they're just on little plantations and farms by local people because it's their drink. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's any better than one who is actually using the quality to make a really high end stuff. And that's what sets these guys apart from the rest. So very cool. They've been called the Bentley of tequilas here, the Reposado.
It's delicious.
Fantastic.
Yeah, this is very good.
So we're having a gentleman call in here pretty soon. Now, his name is Jacques, and I'm not going to pronounce his last name. Oh, I could pronounce it, but I definitely would butcher it. He seems like a really nice guy, and I wouldn't want to do that to him. But you said that you've met him before. Has he come into
I
Tap
have.
42? Tell us a little bit about the experience, if you don't mind.
Basically, they did an event at Tap 42, and he came in, and we did some cocktails together based off of some of his recipes. I kind of adapted them to, our kind of take on it. And he came in, mixed behind our bar with our bartenders, and it was a great experience.
That's great. Now, okay, so his last name is Bezenhut. I'm going to say it like that. I bet you that's pretty close, right? I'm gonna
I'll
go
buy
for
it.
How about B?
Yeah.
There
B.
we go.
Jacques B.
Mr. B.
There we go.
Definitely. And he's supposed to be calling in about quarter after, but he's a mixologist. Does he do a lot of flaring kind of stuff, or he just put together really interesting creations? Now, let's talk about mixology as a whole and everything. When people think about it, now, where do you get your inspiration from? What are the things that kind of set you apart when you feel about, I want to make a new drink, I want to not do what everybody else does, that type of thing? Come on, George.
What? This sugar, salt, cinnamon stuff is really good.
I'm
Here you
gonna
George.
let
You
that
can
one
finish
go.
mine. I have to actually talk through the show. That was always half the fun of the show. Let's see how drunk we can get Brett. He's actually got to finish the show.
I got a roller
and
skate
continue to
date
talk.
after this. I'm going to roller.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Roller
boy.
skating. It's like Weekend at Bernie's. We just put those sunglasses on him and push him around the place. He doesn't even have to be conscious.
That's
There we
great.
go.
It just hurts less when you fall.
Yeah. So anyway, inspirations. Like,
Basically, I try to, I'm very fortunate at Tap because we
Yeah.
actually have a farm right behind us,
Yeah.
Miranda Farms. So I go there all the time and just kind of look around, and cut different herbs, things like that, and kind of use them. I try to stay on top of new trends, things like that.
Right.
But basically, it's just kind of like, sometimes honestly, it'll just strike me in the moment, something to use, and I'll be like, oh, that would be really good, and just kind of use it and go from there.
is it funny when you have like a day that's like just you're standing around, you're there making I'm sure you have a day that's just experimental day where you're just making new stuff or whatever, and you just make like something that's like a totally like nasty. You're like, oof, kind of pour that one down the drain. Do you ever get those types of?
Yeah, but like at the same time when that happens, I'm kind of like, then I'm more determined to just kind of like
Yeah, to make
adjust it and find a way to make it work.
Pour
Yeah.
it out, though. I just, down the hatch.
Yeah, well, I
Don't
mean,
do
you're
that
sitting there, you
again.
got a full bar, and you're working with stuff all day. Especially, the funny thing is you can't drink while you're making these drinks. Too
Why
much.
not?
I don't know, man.
And I've
Come on.
definitely experienced that before where, sometimes if you're doing it all day, like when I first started working at Tap, I did a cocktail demo for the owners there to kind of pick out, what they wanted for our list. And by the end of the day, I did, I think, like 25 cocktails.
Oh wow.
And I mean, by the end, it was kind of like they were throwing me things like, "Oh, make something with this," and
I got some rhubarb. Can you make something out of rhubarb?
Yeah, I mean, it was like some things that I would definitely never use, and some of them actually ended up as our drinks. But then it was kind of hard to remember, like, ooh, exactly how much of that was that, So
Unbelievable.
that is it's kind of a challenging part when you go a little far and try to remember exactly what you made.
So when it comes to different, let's say between the blancos or the añejos, or even when it comes to rums or certain kinds of spirits, I mean, have you found like that there's certain things that mix well with darker drinks, certain things that mix well with lighter drinks that you don't want to overpower? It's kind of like that resonance of flavor, right?
Absolutely. Especially with the añejo. I mean, you really want to embrace that flavor. You don't want to try to cover it. So with the different ones, you kind of taste it, pick up the different notes from it, and then try to match your flavors to complement it, because it's not something you want to hide. Especially, I mean, these are aged in awesome barrels, and there's such a process behind it that you really want to enhance that rather than mask it.
Yeah, you want to bring out the beauty of it.
Exactly.
Exactly. That's fantastic. I was thinking we should take a break, but I don't know if he's going to be calling in.
When did he say?
He said about 6:15,
But
but
it's 6:15 now.
yeah, so we'll hold off
Wait,
on him. Yeah,
hold
definitely.
off and drink something.
You want to drink some more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we
Okay,
finished
so-
all ours. All gone.
So let's look at the progression here of what you kind of had. So talk to me about some of these bottles and what's in them. And I know that you said last time you were on the show, you made your own simple syrup out of Leviathan, which is a big imperial
That's our beer simple
IPA.
syrup.
The
I was
beer-
thinking
for
about
making
bringing
beer.
some of that today, but I actually didn't.
Well, there's a lot of hops in that, and that's going to influence the flavor, right?
Right, yeah, that one, it's actually made from 3 different beers. It's Brooklyn Lager, Magic Hat, and the Leviathan.
Now, did you go through a process of many different beers before you found the ones that worked right for you to make that beer simple syrup, or those are just like, a little bit of this, a little of that?
Well, I mean, first of all, when I had made the beer simple syrup, I was kind of like, why hasn't anyone done this? And I was trying to Google and see if someone had. No one had. So I just kind of picked a couple different beers with different flavor attributes that I wanted for the drink that I was going for. And that's how I kind of did that. Since then, we actually did another cocktail, which has since been removed from our list. It was kind of like a dessert old-fashioned called the Sweet Devil. And that was with some Cigar City Maduro Oatmeal Brown, port wine, and Jim Beam Devil's Cut.
Wow.
So that one was pretty nice, but it was very desserty.
Yeah.
So, basically...
That's, something like that is just perfect to really bring out all the nuances and all three of those things together.
Exactly.
They're all going to emphasize each other. And they're just really nice, especially in like a nice molasses or whatever. And you can like even pour that over over something else. You know?
I totally put on ice cream.
There you
amazing.
go. Or maybe a nice chocolate brownie.
Yeah.
Or George would just pour it all over himself.
Yeah, yes, I would.
But basically what I brought here today, I brought a basic simple syrup. Then I brought our spiced agave, which I was saying we infused with star anise, cinnamon, vanilla beans. Then I just brought some different purees, some bitters, a couple little...
I see that you also have a cutting board over here, and you have some peppers cut up and some cucumbers and that type of thing.
And then I roasted some red peppers.
Oh wow, you roasted some red peppers.
Oh, yes.
That's amazing. Do you really? I mean, in this day and age, people call. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's see. Is this our guest?
Calling in.
Jacques.
Jacques. Welcome to the By the Glass Show. How are you, sir?
Good. How's it going, huh?
Great. Thank you so much for calling in. Right off the bat, let's just say I would announce your full name, but I certainly wouldn't want to butcher it. So we'll let you pronounce your name for everybody out there.
No, that's all good. It's Jacques de Zedenhout.
Oh, okay, fantastic. Are you German or?
I'm actually South African.
Oh, okay, that
The
makes
name-
sense. Very cool.
Yeah, the name has Dutch descent.
Fantastic. So thank you so much for coming on. It's an absolute pleasure. We were talking to Paige over here. She said that you did an event down with her at Tap 42, and it was quite a lot of fun. So talk to us about mixology and some of the concepts that you enjoy about it, and with Partida Tequila.
Nice. Hello, Paige. Nice to
Hi.
be on the show and be with you guys. It's awesome. Yeah, mixology, bartending, I love all of it. It's, to me, it's kind of an extension of your personality, really, because you can go in so many directions of what you want to use and what spirits you want to play with and what you want that menu to look like and how you want that to translate to the guests. So to me, what makes our profession so much fun is that kind of interaction and creativity and all the wonderful spirits and flavors that we can work with. And obviously tequila is one of my favorites just because it's always been a very fun spirit. It has, nobody ever tells you that you can't mix tequila or that it should only be sipped or savored. So that is one of the reasons I love working with it. And it also gives you kind of three different flavor dimensions or directions to go in. So you obviously have Blanco tequila or Reposado or Añejo, and they give you three different areas within to play with, from anywhere from your basic margarita to, serving an añejo in a warm or winter cocktail. So it gives you a lot of creativity.
Do you find that you can infuse some more of those Latin type of foods or spices or concepts, and because it is a Latin drink, what people might expect?
For sure, you can definitely do that, but you're not confined by that at all.
Right.
It doesn't have to. The cool thing about tequila is it doesn't have to live within the confinement of where it comes from. So that to me is what makes it so special. For so long it was put in that category of like, right, you only mix with blancos and you shoot the blanco with a little bit of salt and lime, and then you only really sip the añejo. But I thought there's not just me, but a few other people were just like, there's so much more you can do with it than just being confined by what other people tell you can or can't do. So I think it works with so many different herbs and spices and, hot or cold or stirred or shaken, that you can really have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. One of the interesting things about tequila, too, is that a lot of times, and we have some right here, it comes with a lot of its own agave nectar, which is a byproduct of the tequila. I mean, what really they ferment to create the tequila. How does that work into a lot of the mixology, using an actual derivative of the spirit to work with to create even more vast creations?
Yeah, the agave nectar comes from this. It's made a little bit differently compared to the rest of the tequila process. But the wonderful thing is that it comes from the actual agave plant, and so it brings on a whole lot of those agave flavors, those rich kind of, kind of like a cooked yam, what you would get when you taste a cooked agave. So to me, it really enhances a lot of the flavors you get in tequila. So it makes for perfect margarita. And obviously, with our Partida agave nectar, we do the Partida margarita, which it just kind of builds. If you make it with the Silva, the Reposado, or even the Añejo, that agave nectar gives it a little bit of a silky texture, as well as builds on those agave notes.
Yeah, it's amazing stuff. And so, how do you feel that Partida sets itself apart from many different tequilas in your eyes?
To me, it's all about the quality and the care, and there's a handful of special tequila brands out there that set themselves aside from everything else, and with regards to the steps they take in quality.
Sorry about that. Live show.
That's okay. Is that some shaking going on?
She's shaking it
Just
up.
shaking up a drink, yeah.
Excellent. It's making me thirsty. So to me, it's the steps that we take from the beginning to the end to ensure that we feel like we took all the best steps to make the best possible tequila. And it's all those steps, like how long you grow the agave, how you ferment it, how you harvest it, how you distill it, how you age it. Those are all the steps that you can choose to either make a cheap and nasty tequila, or you can make a high quality tequila. And obviously we take the direction of high quality, and then all those 5 to 6 steps we try to do it the best that we can. To me, a great tequila is all about a sense of place, which we certainly have, the Tequila Valley, as well as just being handcrafted, quality, and just a great product.
You mentioned the Tequila Valley, and I know, being a beverage specialist, about terroir of grapes and grains and that type of thing. That where it comes from, and in Mexico, that very specific part, does that have a lot to do with the actual agave that's being grown and the overall product?
Yes, and being a craft distillery or craft tequila distillery, we pride ourselves in the fact that we do come from the Tequila Valley. Obviously, there's some really great tequilas that come from the highland region of Mexico as well, and they have different characteristics as much as, there's a difference between Pinot Noir and Burgundy, or Cabernet and Bordeaux. The same is to be said for tequilas from the highlands and tequilas from the valley. And, we source all our agaves from the Tequila Valley because we feel they bring on specific characteristics. And because we're still small, we're able to really take control of what agave we take in, the sugar levels, and how we obviously harvest them and ferment and distill and all the rest. So they give our tequila, I think, a very special character, and like I said, a sense of place. So, Partida, when you taste the whole lineup, it really does stand out and give you that idea of where it comes from.
Fantastic. So what's one of your favorite drinks to make out of all three, let's say? What's one of your favorite to use, and out of all those, what's one of your favorite drinks to make? Just, something that you find a little bit more, that's fun for you.
Obviously, it's a bit of a tough one, but
sorry.
I'm getting even more thirsty just thinking and talking about it. But obviously, I love the really simple agave nectar margarita, and I think that's a great expression to shake up any one of our tequilas, either the Blanco, Repo, and Añejo. Another classic that I love drinking in Mexico and at home, especially in the summertime, is the La Paloma, which is just, it's kind of one of those drinks that more people in Mexico drink rather than margaritas, and it's I love the Partida Blanco with this. Squirts, a little pinch of salt, and some fresh lime juice. Just it's a beautiful highball drink. And then I love mixing up a drink with our reposado called the La Perla, and that's Partida Reposado, a Manzanilla sherry, and a little bit of pear liqueur. So it's stirred and served up, and it gives you that sense of more of like an aperitivo style drink that you would have and kind of sip on.
Wow, that's beautiful. She's shaking it up here, but I know Paige told me, what was that tool that they used to cut down the agave?
The koa.
The koa. Do you know how to? The right end of a koa? Can you take one of those and slice one of those things up? Have you ever done that?
I've done that a couple of times, and luckily enough, I haven't chopped off my foot. But I wouldn't say I'm an expert in any way at it, because it takes me about 20 minutes to take down one agave, and the humidors in the fields.
Those guys
takes
make
them
it look
about
easy.
3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah,
which
they
is amazing.
So Paige is over here making up an unbelievable concoction. I'm going to just defer to her for 1 second just to kind of tell us what she put into this drink, if you don't mind, how you did it.
Okay, this one. Oh, hi. This one I used the reposado, and what we did was muddled cucumber, cilantro, a red jalapeno, which is actually super spicy.
Oh my god.
I saw it in the kitchen at work, and I was like, "What is that?" Because I thought it was something else. But
Works for me.
it was
Oh, the times
really,
I've said that.
the first cocktail I made with it, I usually for a jalapeno, I use like a ton of it. And I was like, "Oh, this is really spicy."
Fantastic.
But then we just have some lime juice, simple syrup, and some Saint Germain and habanero bitters.
This is beautiful. I mean, it's just the smell coming off it now. Absolutely. Now, Jacques, do you believe that simplicity is beautiful and genius? I mean, the more pure and simple you can make something, the more elegant that the creation becomes?
I think definitely I'd say for most
Zing.
drinks, that's the case. But sometimes you can get a little bit crazy in the glass and throw in a bit of this and that. And to me, it's always like that's all the fun is in trying at least.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
One last thing, the Elegante, that's the highest in the line in the series of the Partida, correct?
That is
And
correct.
is that something that you would also use to mix, or is that something that should be savored maybe by itself?
I like to mix anything.
I knew that was kind of a trick question for you.
I don't think my boss Gary, the owner of Partida, would be happy in hearing that I'm mixing the Elegante. But I made a margarita with her once, and it was exceptional. Obviously, the better ingredient you use, if something is always going to be great. But to me, the Partida Elegante is all about actually just kicking back and sipping on it, and really just taking a moment to enjoy that moment, because it is some special liquid. But
Fantastic.
every now and then I would throw it in a glass, but I would keep it really simple. You know, if you really want to go set it apart, you know, just making a great old-fashioned style drink, a little bit of bitters, a little bit of sugar, and the Elegante, and you would be blown away.
Yeah, I'm sure that I would. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much, Mr. Jacques B. I will call him. Tequila Partida, mixologist, brand ambassador, and just a hell of a guy all around. Thanks so much for calling in by the Glass Show. Wealth of knowledge, and thank you for your busy. I know you got a busy schedule. Thanks for taking your time to call in.
Not at all.
All right,
Thank you,
we'll
guys,
take
and
care.
Thank you.
Keep on mixing.
All right, have a good one.
Keep on mixing.
Bye, Jacques.
All right, great. Wow, that was a lot of fun. We're going to go to a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to continue on with unbelievable cocktails and all kinds of knowledge and just
good.
fun stuff.
Don't spit in that. I'm going to
interesting
eat that.
stuff. And we come back on By the Glass Show on SoFloRadio.com.
Put a team of professional consultants behind your home or business computer with Key Information Solutions, providing solutions to your internet and computing needs while keeping you on the cutting edge of technology. Preventative maintenance and networking support, hardware and custom-built computers. Let Key Information Solutions be your personal tech staff for your home or office with affordable hourly, monthly, or annual rates to fit anyone's budget. Call Key Information Solutions now. 954-973-3374. That's 954-973-3374. Or visit keyinformation.com.
When you're ready to actually lose weight safely and steadily while being monitored by a physician, the Weight Loss Clinic of Dr. Kim Jacobson is there for you. The family medicine practice was established by her father in 1956 and continues as a medical practice that now specializes in weight reduction. Dr. Kim Jacobson joined the practice 20 years ago as both a family medicine practitioner and weight loss specialist. The Weight Loss Clinic utilizes a combination of appetite suppression medication and vitamins to produce great results, usually 3 to 4 pounds per week for most patients. Now you can change your lifestyle while still enjoying your own food, just less of it. They offer a choice of 2, 3, or 4-week plans. So whether you just need to lose a few pounds or a lot, the Weight Loss Clinic of Dr. Kim Jacobson can help you. They're located at 5454 Northeast 4th Avenue in Miami, just 2 blocks west of 54th Street and Biscayne Boulevard. Call them at 305-751-0091. They'll be happy to answer any and all of your questions. That's 305-751-0091. Get started on a beautiful new body today with Dr. Kim Jacobson and the Weight Loss Clinic.
Strawberry patch and smoothie come.
Get your hands off me.
Huh?
I said don't touch me.
I shouldn't have went to that party last night. Now I'm seeing talking fruit.
You're not dreaming, Bubba, and you're not putting me in that blender to do.
But you're just a fruit.
Who you calling a fruit?
You are. You're a delicious passion fruit.
Why, sure, I'm passionate. How would you like to be blended, huh? I got right, you know.
Customers waiting. You gotta go.
Yeah, but wait, you can...
At Power Smoothie in Aventura, we show fruit no mercy. Always fresh, always delicious. To make the best smoothies and wraps on earth, try our new cilantro lime-alicious wrap or our hot chipotle chicken. Power Smoothie in Aventura, located just north of the Aventura Mall in the Promenade Shops. Or call 305-792-5338. Open 7 days a week.
This is John Etch in the Sports Heads.
You don't flick a player off knowing he can't do anything back because he will get consequences for it. You know, like I applaud Joakim Noah for holding his composure, and then not flipping up because clearly we see he has a temper as it is.
Tuesday 7 to 9, Thursday 8 to 10.
John Edge and the Sports Heads
on SoFloRadio.com.
And now we return you to By the Glass.
Okay. Welcome back to By the Glass Show. I was going to say, now, who picked this song? George.
Right.
And then he's going to say he's going to blame it on me.
2 tequila songs. Listen to Tequila Sunrise. I mean, we got to come up with some new ones.
That's it. All there is 2 tequila songs. I think people would kind of be a little bit...
version of tequila.
Well, we're doing a tequila show. I think people would be a little bit disappointed if we weren't playing this song.
I am. I'm waiting for the hit
the
so
drop.
I can finish my drink.
You're waiting for the drop.
Okay, so whoever saw the Pee Wee Herman movie where he's up on the thing, he's got the white shoes. George has shoes like that.
I'll jump on this table.
George, that's what I was going to say. Could you imagine George in those white shoes jumping up on the table?
Wait.
Okay.
I thought I did it.
It's coming. Come
on,
right
Larnell. Are you going to do it? Larnell's over there. He's going to do it.
Do the big shoe dance.
Go for it.
No? Okay, here we go. Wow, and that was a spicy one.
This is spicy. This is really wonderful. I didn't want to talk over Jacques.
Yeah.
But this is amazing.
Yeah, this is very good.
This is just, fantastic. And Jacques was awesome.
Paige is one of these people, like, if you won the lottery or you were an Arab sheikh, this is the person that you would want to have. Because she's beautiful and she's a mixologist. Like, bring people over to your house and press the parties. Like, oh no, my wife is mixing drinks for us tonight. That's so embarrassing. This is just something she whipped up right now.
George is embarrassing.
Just does stuff.
Get used to it.
I am bright red right now.
But what a cool guy, and he's certainly nothing to sneeze at. I mean, he's the world brand ambassador for like one of the top tequila brands in the world. I mean, he's been written up in every freaking magazine from here to there. I mean, this guy took his time to call in on the show, and that's no small thing. We really do appreciate that because. Let's face it; these people are, and people like Paige coming in too. We can't thank you enough. I mean, you guys are very busy. You're sought after. And it's so hot right now. I mean, how have you seen the movement? Even since the last time you've been on the show, how have things progressed out there in the market?
Maybe
if you want to tie in concept here, new concept if you want.
Well, we are doing some new concepts. Actually, it's kind of ironic with the tequila because we are actually doing a modern Mexican themed rooftop bar next to Tap 42 coming soon next year. So we kind of put a little teaser on the paper today about that. But it's going to be, tequila, mezcal.
Ooh, that's a good tequila mezcal, huh?
Yeah, mezcal's pretty nice.
Talk to me about mezcal. Do you know much about it for the difference from, is it just the two different types of plants or the way it's produced, or do you know?
It's a different production way, and the most prevalent difference is definitely the taste.
Okay.
The mezcal is going to be super smoky. They smoke the piñas.
Oh, okay.
A lot of the traditional way is like in an underground pit.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be almost like a scotch.
George has a Monte Alban costume that he used for Halloween. You know, the little,
That's right.
you know, the worm.
Sure.
It would look, he looked perfect.
I'm the worm. Soy el gusano.
He's also smoked piñas in a pit.
I've never had underground. Wait a minute. Underground. Did you say piñas? All right. Just checking.
Oh, that's 4.
Brett's on a roll. One more. We get to do the little cross thing over here, Brett. I never had mezcal before. I didn't know it was smoky because since By the Glass, Brett turned us on to the smoky scotch, like the Lafroig and stuff like that. And I really like it. I like bacon. It's like drinking bacon. So
would you make like a bacon creation with some mezcal or something? Would that
If
be
I
something
had
fun,
some
cool?
right here,
I mean, that would be something you would do,
I'm
right?
gonna go get some bacon. Dio, go get the bacon.
Go back to your apartment.
Just go across the street, and Mickey Burns say bacon.
Seriously. I love smoky flavors. I love like a nice Lafroig.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, totally.
We're getting smoked fish sent to us.
Could you work that into it? Do you work that into drinks, stuff like that are really intense? And
Yeah.
like, use something to balance them, or
Yeah, we've definitely we had a cocktail on the menu a little while ago called Smokey the Pear.
Okay.
And it was some pear puree. It was Corsair triple smoke whiskey. It was nice and smoky, but also sweet, a little bit spicy on like the finish. It was really nice. So I'm definitely a big fan of smoky flavors, but they are a little bit too bold for most people.
Yeah.
So you
Well,
kind of have to moderate it and kind of cut it with.
I tend to think that people work their way up to it. Let's say
Yeah.
you started out drinking scotch when you're about 12 years old in Scotland, but then as you become this craggy old man who lives up on the hill and and tends his sheep, and the cold winter gets into your bones, that same old maltiness just ain't gonna cut it, and you want to smoke it out. Kind of like when people start drinking beer
I was
in
just about to
this
say,
country, and
IPAs.
over time it's just not enough to cut through, and they want something bigger and bolder till they're just full blown hopheads. And they're out there drinking, High Life IPA or whatever.
How old are you, George?
48.
Still got into a full blown hophead?
Yeah, not yet. No, not.
Well, some people never change. But he's a smokehead.
Not a smokehead.
A Lafroig, I mean.
Coincidence?
Yeah. So people do. It tends to.
And he only means scotch.
It definitely is an
That's all.
acquired taste. But when we talk about whiskey, though, a little bit. Now that we're talking about whiskey,
My
not only
favorite
do you
subject.
have the Mexican concept with the tequilas, the tequila bar, not necessarily Mexican, excuse me, but the tequila bar. But then there's also the Japanese whiskey.
We're doing a concept based off of Japanese whiskey.
So has
That's
anybody
pretty
ever? This is a beverage show where we talk about beverage every frickin' week for years. I've never heard of Japanese whiskey. Is
Me
it?
neither. I thought the whiskey would be too strong for the Japanese.
But the Japanese, I know.
I had a
The
Japanese
Japanese,
over
I know, they'll steal everything, like how to make it. Like they didn't invent the computer.
Do you know who they stole it from?
Plum wine.
The Americans, or
yeah,
The whiskey?
the Scotch.
It's
Scottish?
it's actually based off of Scotch.
Okay, Scotch. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what kind of brought.
Because I know that over there they love Bordeaux, they love Burgundy, they love Scotch, they love all like the stuff that's the quintessential, and they always start with the originals. And China, I know, was one of the biggest buyers of fine cognacs and whiskeys for years.
Scotches, yeah, they love the Macallan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's basically so. I mean, and that
Macallan's
concept is going to turn a lot of heads because just the name.
It's good stuff.
Japanese whiskey has. I mean, it's just amazing.
we're not
How's
sure-
it going to tie in?
We're not sure on the name yet. That's just kind of like the concept we're
Okay.
going off of. So that's kind of it's in development. It's definitely gonna happen.
Yeah.
So
That's just great.
It's something that's really super exciting.
And I wouldn't even know. I mean, other than sushi and like sashimi and tempura.
They have
I
plum
wouldn't
wine.
even
See, I
what-
didn't know about whiskey, but the exchange student, we
plum
went
wine's been around
shopping. We
forever.
went shopping over at the Asian market. She said, "Oh,
Sake.
plum wine, you're gonna like this."
Right.
No, not sake's the
Yeah,
rice.
but plum wine's
plum
been
wine's
around
great.
forever.
Oh, yeah, plum
Yeah, I didn't know, but it was delicious. It was really, really
Well,
wonderful.
those are the kinds of fun things you can use to make drinks in the future, like all the different natural fruits of Asia,
Japan, yeah.
Japan and whatnot, cherry blossoms.
The cool thing about the Japanese whiskey is that they actually, it was started by two guys who went to, one of them went to Scotland and learned from a lot of different distilleries, did some apprenticeships, and brought back the knowledge of distilling back to Japan. But instead of kind of sticking to the tradition, that most Scotch makers use, in Japan they're all about innovation. So they kind of make use of technology.
They
and
always make it better. They'll steal an idea
I mean,
and make
honestly,
it better. That's not a bad thing.
It is great. I have to say, They make a great
Yeah?
whiskey.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's it approximate to? Would you say?
A nice scotch.
Like really? Like
Yeah.
Smoky, not smoky.
They're I'd say it's mid-range.
Do they have to import
kind
the
of
peat
more
and
like
all
a
that?
Highland whiskey?
Or can they find the same type of ingredients? You think,
They do import. They
indigenously?
do import some of theirs.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
because that's the
Some of the malted
quintessential
barley.
aspect of Scotch is the peat that comes from Scotland. So I don't think that you could really find.
Yeah, I had someone try to tell me that they made it from rice, and I was like, no,
Smoked
you're
rice?
totally wrong.
They're certainly not growing any grain over there. So,
Yeah,
but,
So what next?
Yeah,
Sorry,
I mean,
I'm just gonna.
Oh,
you
no.
keep,
She's
you keep
gonna top
talking
herself.
shop talk stuff. I'll
So
be,
far, guys,
I'll be Jason today.
Let's recap.
Hey, so
let's,
we've had
let's recap a little bit here.
2
okay?
drinks.
It's the Partita Tequila Show with Paige Nash. She's coming in. She is the beverage director.
What's she mashing up
and
now?
mixologist of Tap 42. And so far, we've used the Blanco.
Is that guava?
No, that is
Jeez.
I'm getting
This
all
guy's
set
cut
up.
off over here. So we've used.
Go on, Brad. I need an answer to that.
We're only
though.
2 drinks in.
I know. Jeez.
I'm good.
We've used the Blanco to create some wonderful libations, and then also we've used the Reposado, which has given us a little bit. Now, it's interesting. She used the one that had the lightest flavor to just bring out some nuances of a wonderful her style of what you might call a margarita, a Page margarita. And then the next one was the Reposado, which has a little bit more flavor and spice to it. And then she balanced that with a nice pepper. Was that it?
What did you just squirt in there? Was that mustard?
No, but I have made a cocktail with mustard before. No, that was actually mango puree.
Ah.
Oh my God, I love
You
that.
made a cocktail with mustard before, huh?
I have, yes.
Sounds horrible.
Actually, it's just a little tiny
Okay.
mustard.
But it's all about balance,
Dijon?
right? I mean, using
Was
the
it-
mustard to
Say it was
balance.
brown
Dijon.
mustard. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right,
Offset
all right,
something
all right,
else.
all right, all right.
Yeah, it is all about balancing. This cocktail is actually one that I usually really love to make with a bourbon.
Okay, because it's sweeter.
Right, but we're gonna kind of do a different take on it with we're gonna do it with the reposado again, and basically it's a roasted red pepper, some mango, then we're gonna do some lime, some simple syrup, some habanero bitters. It's gonna be delicious.
Habanero
Right,
bitters.
fantastic.
Yes.
I'll be the judge of that.
They're some of the hottest.
This stuff's actually really good.
Yeah.
Can I hold that?
Yes.
I want to hold it and smell it.
You gotta taste it. It's a lot more spicy if
Take
you
it
taste
straight.
it on its own.
What is this?
Okay, so the way you're supposed to taste that is literally you drop it on your hand right here, and verbatim, this is how they
like
told
a
me.
bump?
They said to lick it like a cat.
Oh, George.
That's very unusual. What is this supposed? What is this?
It's habanero bitters from Bitterman's Hellfire.
It's LSD, George.
Okay.
I didn't bring that.
What
That
is
second
this?
one kicked in.
This is tasty. Boy, what's this in a dropper?
That's powerful.
Well, he's gonna go skating later.
I am totally. Hellfire. Habanero shrub. Was this from Cuba?
You should know we found it in your closet, George.
My closet's big and deep.
Fantastic.
Hey.
So, and I like how it's called Bitterman's. That's neat.
Yeah, that's a great line of bitters.
Yeah.
A Jewish feller named Bitterman.
I thought he was a chauffeur.
You're gonna make her spill the tequila. Can you give her a second first?
That'll be my dream come true. No, wait, that wasn't it.
Unbelievable. Well, so this over here looks like it's going to be something amazing. And we're
It's
still
gonna be a
using the
pretty one,
Reposado,
too.
right?
That's a nice color to it right now.
Well, guys, we hold these up at home and talk about color. I mean, look at the difference in colors between some of these.
Sure.
They're beautiful. I mean, and they use this one. They hand fill the bottle here with just the spirit, the neutral spirit, once it comes right out of the bottom of the whatever they call that big bin that they fermented in. And then this one here is aged in the Jack Daniel's casks. And then, of course, this one has a little bit more time on it. They aged this one in the Jack Daniel's casks for even more. And that's, the fact that they go the extra mile to create unbelievable product that's just clean. And it's interesting here, I didn't really get to talk to Jacques about it, though, but just like there's all kinds of regulating authorities that basically regulate quality control in all different types of spirits and wine and beer throughout the world. I never realized that Mexico had its own regulating authority called the CRT. Now let's see if here you go, George. You speak Spanish.
I do.
What is this? How to say that one real quick for me right there?
What's that? Right there. Consejo Regulador del
Oh,
Tequila.
that's a nice accent.
Yeah, okay.
It's my first language. consejo.
So what is that? So the
a regular concession or regular concession regulator?
Yeah, sounds that way.
Yeah, I can read it. I can't understand
consulting regulator of tequila, maybe.
Yeah,
consultant. So these are the people that go out there and they're all the CRT, and they are responsible for the quality of the plants and the production and whatnot. Correct?
Yes, actually, what they do is they track all the agave plants in Mexico through what's called a CRT card. It's kind of like an ID card for all the different producers, because it has to be 100% Blue Weber tequila, or I'm sorry, Blue Weber agave.
Interesting that all the agave in Mexico has a name like Weber. That's not Spanish.
No.
Right?
Well, I'm probably saying it completely wrong.
No, it's Blue Weber.
No, it's Blue Weber.
Yeah, too, yeah.
But a lot of Germans moved over to Central America, so
and they probably are the ones who regulated the plant.
It's actually like really beautiful. The pictures of the agave plantations. It almost looks like vineyards, but it's these beautiful. It looks like blue aloe plants almost.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's beautiful.
Oh, what's fun is you can go on YouTube and actually watch them making tequila, guys. If you ever get the wild hair, check it out. It's because they'll show you the rows and rows of. They're super spiny, and they are not a cactus by any means. They're their own form of plant, a completely different genus, maybe in the same class or something, but they're not the same. And who would think that they'd be so sweet inside with all the just actual sugars? Now, I believe that it's actually sweet, and it doesn't need to convert from starch to sugar. It's just a pure sugar, and like I said, it tends to ferment on its own. I don't think they add yeast to it or anything. I didn't see anything like that going on. Just by actually cooking it or baking it in the ovens is when the conversion starts, and that's when they macerate it or tear it up, and they let all the sap just drip out of it into these big wooden barrels.
If this were You Bet Your Life, a duck would drop down from the ceiling. Macerate. That was before you got here. That was the word of the day. That's like I learned that word from this show.
You got the drop ceiling here. When are you gonna get the duck?
I'm gonna get the duck. You just win. You bet your life. The word of the day.
Macerate. Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
that is beautiful.
That's our second Pee-wee reference, by the way.
This just wouldn't be the same in all the small ones.
We got taller glasses. Those tall glasses, shakers.
We got to take a picture before we drink it so that we know that.
All right.
That is really, really pretty.
Yeah.
It is.
Thank you.
My camera here.
So this one is that cocktail that we were talking about. So it's going to be the roasted red pepper, mango puree, the reposado tequila, a little bit of lime juice, Hellfire bitters, and then we top it with some red wine. I use a red blend. So it's kind of like, this red blend is actually like a really kind of sweet, kind of jammy red.
This one. Grab that bottle out of the way. Just so we can get a nice...
Yeah, Brett doesn't want water in his picture.
Beautiful. Put that one up. Beautiful. So do you drink it? Basically, you're supposed to.
Yeah,
drink
now
it
you can mix it.
Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna take a sip.
We're gonna get the red wine like that.
Wow, that's pretty intense. That's beautiful, and that's how you would serve it, just like that, right?
That's how you would serve it, yeah. And then since we're gonna kind of split it, we can.
All right, so let's split it up.
Yeah.
It's tequila. Don't worry.
Oh, I'm not worried about your cooties. I see the woman you're kissing.
There you go. You just passed it.
But absolutely wonderful.
What you want? Will this one be better?
No, it doesn't matter now.
That one's cleaner on the outside.
Jason, if you're at home listening, you're missing out on another great show.
You're
man.
totally
What's going
missing
on,
out,
bro? Paige, she was asking, "Where's Jason?"
That's right. She totally was.
She's making 4 drinks.
Cried and cried when he went.
Making 4 drinks.
I was very upset. I almost didn't even go on.
This is delicious.
The smell of this is really, really exceptional.
Perfect. Thank you.
You can smell the pepper right away.
And I love that you mixed the wine in there. That's a whole nother concept.
Yeah. I
Wow,
like
this
mixing
is
different
good.
categories.
Once again, the spice.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm usually not the kind of guy who
I've
goes
never
for,
seen Brett
for
cough.
peppers. Well, I went down the wrong. I went down the wrong pipe. But these are drinks like I've never had before. They're truly exceptional, and you truly are an artist. This is phenomenal stuff. We're so lucky to have.
These are
you
really
here.
bold flavors for cocktails.
They're amazing. And I'm glad you said that because the flavors are bold, but they're certainly not overpowering.
No, they're balanced.
You don't taste any like alcohol or anything. You taste like what the alcohol should taste like. You don't taste like all the bad things. Everything is just nuances of. I mean, these are kind of drinks. They're so refreshing. They're definitely, when you call it a refreshment, when you after work you sit down at Paige's bar and she makes you a drink like this. You're going to be like refreshed, and ready, to enjoy a nice meal or something. And this is what a libation is, what it's really all about. I mean, what a shame to just drink tequila, like Jock was saying, just with
or,
a lime.
or just having just a simple margarita when you can do this.
Yeah,
I mean,
and it's funny because sometimes when you have these ingredients printed on a menu, people will shy away from them. Just like when they see the word gin, they see the word bourbon, they're like, oh, I don't like that.
I gotta say, if I saw a lot of
I used to be
peppers
scared
and
of
stuff,
gin.
I'd be scared of peppers.
Like roasted red peppers in a drink sounds a little weird, but
well, not the roasted, but I'm more like scared of like something being too spicy for me, like where it's just gonna overpower because people don't have the creativity, the artistry to make it work.
well, and it's a delicate balance between not making it super duper spicy and just having that spice come out like at the very finish.
Yeah, no,
So-
it's exceptional. It's
This
a flavor.
this one is a lot of it's on the nose, but when you actually taste it, it's not that It's not that overpowering.
Right.
It's very light.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very
crisp.
good.
Yeah.
Definitely. Now, how often do you change it up? Making something new. You're like, okay, it's Tuesday, I got to make up a new drink, or it's like every day you got to get up and make a new drink because you're inspired that way, or is there something like how do you do it? How do you regulate
honestly,
creativity?
we have our core kind of couple of cocktails that make up our list, and then what we do is we kind of change them up seasonally. Based on what's available, new products, what I'm in the mood for. We also do one cocktail that's really cool. It's called our Farmer's Market cocktail.
Oh, neat.
And what we do with that is I go to Mirando Farms, and we do this about every 2 weeks. We'll change it,
And it's
and
not the same drink every 2 weeks.
right, so it's different. And if I like it, it'll stick. Like the one we have right now, I'm actually going to put on the menu full time and name it something else. But I go over there and kind of pick what's seasonal, what I like, and we'll put it on the menu. We print them in house, so we can change it at a whim.
I follow her on Facebook. She's being really humble. I follow her on Facebook, and every morning she's posting. It's like wakes up like 7 in the morning with her fuzzy slippers and her pajamas, and she just starts bringing alcohol out of the cupboard and goes, "This looks good today." And just starts the way that we drink coffee. She just starts mixing things up and tasting them, and it's like
That could be a
until
good
she's
thing or a bad
onto
thing.
something. It's like okay, onto something. I can go to work now. I'm
Then
gonna take
George
this.
wakes up and it's not Facebook and it's
She's
her
got
kitchen
like
window.
notes and post notes.
Stalker. No, I'm just kidding.
Haven't triangulated her location yet. Now that I got that tracking device.
You just Googled it.
All right, so I can't wait to see what's next. Talk to me a little bit about the actual companies. Do they support you guys being mixologists out there? You were talking a little bit about, we shall not, discuss maybe other, brands because it's Partitas night. But, do they educate you, give you what you need, listen to you guys out there? How are they been supported? I know they got more money than God, so.
Yes, they do provide a lot of support. It's actually really cool, especially because, mixology, which, that word is kind of either a love or hate term, but, it is what it is. I really do think that, what we try to do is mixology, whether you like the term or not.
Beverage artistry.
Whatever.
It is an art. There's no question.
For sure. There's
But
no
that
two ways
word is
about
kind
it.
of like a sore subject with a lot of people, which, I think it's just kind of banter.
Well, people they
Way too into
argue about
themselves.
everything.
Exactly.
They're
So
they're so into themselves.
but luckily, whatever you want to call it, it's a trend. It's something that people are paying attention to. And, it's a continual kind of evolution of what we're drinking, whether it's with mixology and spirits, whether it's wine or beer. I think there's a movement towards, exploring new options and kind of really elevating everything that's going on.
Yeah.
So luckily, a lot of the brands, they really do support what we're doing. They hold programs, educational programs. They come in, support us, whether it's having like Jock when he came into Tap 42 to, make some tequila cocktails for us. So they support us.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So.
It's kind of like when people started making their own beer and it kind of turned the whole world on its head, in the 80s,
Exactly.
80s and 90s. Now people are using spirits to create unbelievable drinks that they're just, they're almost something you could just enjoy even if you're not looking for maybe necessarily something alcoholic. I mean, these drinks just have so much flavor to them that the fact that it's made with tequila really is the last thing on my mind. It's like, wow, I can't even pull like, cucumber and dill and and spices and all that out of this thing. It's unbelievable.
And that's one of my favorite things about what I do is I love being able to turn someone who says, "Oh, I don't like tequila," into someone who is like, "I love this drink," and then I'll be like, "Oh, it's tequila," and they're like, "What?" Yeah, like maybe I'm just a little bit evil in that respect, but
Sick burn.
like that's something I love, being able to kind of open someone else's eyes to something that is actually really awesome. Is a really cool thing to me.
I thought the people that say they don't like tequila really haven't given it a fair shot.
No.
They
gave it a fair
shot. It was Cuervo, and it was like, and it's like.
But that's the thing, or they've maybe never they've maybe never been presented to it in a way that was fun and exciting. Like you can't say like people that I deal with on in a beer.
That's thick.
People, people you deal with in a beer world that
Hold that
say
on my
like,
finger.
oh, I don't like beer. It's like, how many different types of light beer did you try? You know what I mean? And
Yeah, like
can't
trust
blame
me,
'em.
I can find a beer that you like. Like,
I went for years not liking beer because I was in the Northwest. They kept giving me Rainier and Olympia and these other nasty Coors.
The one thing you learn in the show of every type of alcohol, there is a brand that is good that you'll like.
I'm gonna put that on my pancakes. Did you try that?
It's syrup.
No, this stuff is taking the world by storm. The agave.
actually
It's a whole other industry for
delicious.
it is with the agave too,
Oh my
because
God.
agave syrup doesn't have to be made from the blue agave, which there is going to be a shortage next year of the agave plants.
I know that there was a shortage in the in the 90s.
Right.
They harvest every 7 years. Now, is that due to the fact that they didn't have the regulation up and running?
It's kind of almost just like bourbon, where you kind of have to forecast in advance what the trends are
Futures.
going to be.
Commodities
Exactly.
and futures.
Exactly.
It touches
so
everything.
you really have to have a good eye for.
Have you had this?
Which one?
This would Brett.
I have
that's
not
what-
had that
This
on
would taste wonderful in your Earl Grey tea.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
darling.
yes.
I like to take this time, and she's shaking it up to say, as we enjoy all these
I'm gonna stir this
wonderful,
one.
wonderful libations, cocktails, and creations, and we have all these great people call in and join us, like Paige and Jacques. We'd like to do so responsibly. Please do not drink and drive. Please do not overconsume. Do not drink under 21. If you are pregnant, wait the 9 months. The kid will thank you. And we want you to come back every Thursday at 6 on SoFlo Radio and BuyTheGlassShow.com to enjoy wonderful beverages, spirits, and great people like Paige and myself, and sometimes George. Just bringing you some of the greatest fun and interesting beverage entertainment that the world has to offer. So, and it's all free. And all we hope is that you are inspired and feel passion like Paige over here. I mean, how great is life, with making all this fun stuff, huh?
It is, honestly, I feel like the luckiest person in the world.
It's so cool, and it just comes from passion, and we don't all have to be superstars, but we can all enjoy ourselves from time to time. So thank you so much for tuning in. It's been wonderful. So continuing on, so she's got the añejo.
All right, so we're gonna finish with the añejo, and like I said, the añejo it's rested in a barrel. It's the longest aged except for an extra añejo. This añejo is very nice, complex, almost like a cognac, or a very fine whiskey or scotch. So this one I'm doing a take on an old fashioned because I'm a whiskey person. I love that cocktail.
Whiskey.
So basically, what I did is I took the añejo, just a little bit of the regular agave, and then my spiced agave to kind of cut it because I didn't want the spiced agave to overpower everything. And then I did some chocolate bitters and some Hellfire bitters.
Hellfire. That's great.
Let's drink it. I want some. Give me the big one.
And it has that same conceptuality of the old fashioned. Like
What?
we're talking about.
And this is
Rhubarb. I really pulled rhubarb out of my butt earlier, as an obscure reference, and you actually brought rhubarb there. My sister used to grow rhubarb. We used to make rhubarb pie. That's why I always throw rhubarb out as like the flavor of the fruit that nobody ever has around.
Well, before we drink, let's toast to Paige.
Yes.
No, let's toast to
Paige.
tequila. Toast to tequila. There we go.
But the Paige, because she made these
Awesome.
drinks.
Thank you so much.
Thank
This
you
is
so much.
Absolutely wonderful.
Smells great, tastes better.
You know what?
That's a lot of flavor.
I'm so surprised because it's absolutely nothing like I thought it was going to.
When I smell it, all I smell is the tequila.
Yeah.
Which is good to me.
This is phenomenal.
But
there's so much
you
more
want to
going
taste
on.
this tequila too.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
You do. So.
This is exceptional.
But it doesn't and you can taste the agave with the balance of the agave and the tequila. This is awesome.
Wow.
Truly.
Don't cry.
Nice after dinner.
I know, right?
I know. I want to too.
Amazing. I love it so much. Jason, did you miss out on a good show, man?
Yeah, man.
I tell you
Yeah,
what.
all
it is
four of these
fantastic.
drinks.
How
I'll come
lucky are
back.
we to, people have to go out wait in line. If you've ever
When?
been to Tap 42,
When
the
will you
place
come
is
back,
packed.
Paige?
You can
Whenever
never
you're
even
not-
get through to this woman at the bar. She can barely. I've seen her once. She's like, oh hi. She's like running by, and she comes in and like makes us our own personal drinks. We're just so lucky.
thank you,
and
guys.
It's just absolutely amazing.
Thank
You
you.
guys got to get out to Tap and see her and all the new concepts that are going on. Now the new concept is right next to Tap 42, right?
The upscale Mexican, yes, it's gonna be a rooftop bar.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
It's gonna
And
be
you guys
awesome.
are turning it all around. I think Blaze is turning that whole section of town into like
It's all gonna be in that corridor.
that corridor. And
Yep.
he's going to turn it, 20 years from now, that's going to be like,
Excellent.
just a new face on Fort Lauderdale.
Lots of fun places.
And just tons of fun and everything. Are we getting our outro music today?
Soon, man.
Yeah.
Don't rush it.
I didn't want to rush it. I was kind of gonna cry because this has like been one of the most fun shows we've had in so long, and it's been such a joy. And I just absolutely love you are just an essence of education and knowledge, and you make it all look so easy. And these are some of the best cocktails I've ever had in my life.
Thank you.
And I never would drink peppers in any way, shape, or form. It would be the last thing that I
get
would
people to
ever.
eat their veggies.
I'll drink anything.
You
Paige
have
gives us.
Yeah.
You've turned me.
I really trust Paige.
Come on, in all the years doing this show, you should know you
This is
can
made
drink
with
anything.
arsenic and strychnine. It's really good. Okay. Really? Okay. You
Yeah,
say
sure.
so. Paige said drink this.
Downtown Hollywood.
All right, that was it.
That was
Thanks,
it.
guys.
Knock right up on us.
That's it.